everybody, how are you all? It's Mandy from gramaryecreativearts, and it has been so long since I have done a video, let alone even crafting, because I've been so busy. So and because of that I'm behind. I haven't done my design team projects for Tatty Treasures, and it's just, you know, life, right? It happens sometimes. It just gets in the way of crafting. How dare it? But it did. Anywho, I thought I would quickly come on. I've made one and I'm about to make another one. So I'm going to show you finished, and then I'm going to show you how to make what I'm doing. So this is which kit is this one? Let me see. I've got a bit of paper here with the kits written on it. This is Summer Garden by Tatty Treasures, and I've got this beautiful sari silk which I only just got in the mail today from Which Craft Do You Do if you are in Australia. And they've just got the most amazing colours, and you can just get them in 5 metre lots. So this was the perfect colour for this cover. So this is what I'm calling a plain Amanda Jane, because that's my name, journal. All right, so what's going to happen, this will end up being in my shop for sale, and it is all of the lovely papers from the Summer Garden kit with, what have we got in here? We've got some book page from an Australian garden book, so you'll have some lovely, well, that's a South African protea, but they grow really well here in Australia. And so got some gardening book, line paper. I think there's, what else is there? All the digitals. And I think there's music paper, graph paper. Oh, these old letters that are from Rachel at Roxy Creations. I just love them there. I use them all the time. Some old music, and just so very plain, very Amanda Jane plain, and so plenty of space. I've done this really cute binding. It's a bit hard to see because I used a dark brown. Let me see if I can get the light on there. So it's got your true kettle stitch. This is a running stitch which is then being gathered, and the true kettle stitch at the other end. This one is covered in material because I happened to find this material and went, oh, that matches so nicely with all of the papers. And this is one of the papers from the kit which I've used to make the end papers. So what you'll get is this nice plain Amanda Jane journal, and you'll get all of the papers now that are ephemera. I'm not going to cut them up, and the reason being is some of the papers you could actually use that as a journal page if you wanted to. This one obviously, oh, I've got them the wrong way around. Now I will put a little I've done a flick through of all the papers, so I'll put that up there. But I think there's 17 pages of ephemera for this kit, and so it's just all in beautiful blues and yellows, some hydrangeas. You can see that why I picked the fabric for the cover, and that will be the kit. Just around it because you always need a beautiful closure. And so all ready for someone to decorate and write and journal in, and use it as actually be a lovely garden journal, or, you know, a trip vacation journal. So what I thought I'd do was, that was supposed to be my, what are we, December, October, I think that was my September, I can't remember. I'm so far behind. Anyway, so I'm going to make another one out of the Sunny Days kit, and let's and it'll be the same. So I've already created my signatures, because everyone knows how to fold paper, but I'll just go through the first one. So you can see I've got papers from the kit and some more of that beautiful Australian gardening book, or there might be graph paper or lined paper and music paper. It's all the same other bits of plain paper. So I'm going to, this one, the covers are going to be covered in paper, but I've just glued the card onto the paper. So these are papers from the Sunny Days kit. And once again, there is a whole heap of ephemera pages, but you could use that as a page. This one, I mean, you could still use it as a page actually, but it still look pretty cute. So some of them, see, you could use these as pages, but some of them you might want to cut out. So I'm going to leave those as they are, and that's how they will go to the recipient. So let's start by finishing off these covers. I have to apologise for the noise. I still haven't worked out how to cut the noise down in here, but you know, one day I'll work it out. But the house where I used to be in the rumpus room outside has been sold now. Settlement is in early December, and finally, it took a while, but got everything out of my mum's house and have had cleaners in who did an amazing job, and it's all completely empty. It's now in the hands of the real estate agent, so is good. Like these old bonsai scissors. And we found, I have to tell you, probably 30 pairs of scissors at Mum's place. I like them because they're a bit loose, but your hand fits in there. I've got big hands, so especially your thumb gets so sore in the scissors, doesn't it? Okay, I haven't even decided what I'm going to use as the end paper on the inside. But I need a ruler. No, I need my bone folder. How's everyone been while I've been busy sorting? And so I had my brother here for only a couple of weeks helping me sort. He wasn't that great a help. So I pretty much did it all myself. And we've had dealers come around and take all the stuff away, and all fun and games. So I've just scored that up. It just makes it easier for when I glue it. Okay, hopefully this will work, because I was trying to, when I was doing the other book, I had to unclog all of it because they've been sitting there for so long. Oh, no, it doesn't look like this one's worked. I thought I'd unclogged it, but obviously not. No. Oh, no, yep, it's coming. Maybe a little bit. Even my big bottle of art glitter glue was completely clogged up. See, it's bad for you not to keep on crafting. So I'm doing the proper bookbinding corners there. You can see that I've cut it off. I haven't cut it too close to the edge or to the corner of the book board. Well, I say book board, but it's actually the back of a scrapbook pad. And then we come in, and it's almost like folding bed. Not bad, you know. I was teaching a bookbinding course, and I said the old hospital corners, and not everyone knew what I meant. But I grew up in a army household because my dad was in the army, and Mum had been in the army, and so they and also trained. She never finished her training, but trained as a nurse. So hospital corners, we had to make our beds that way. But you're tucking it. Can you see how I've tucked it right in, and I've pushed it up against the edge of the card there and there. And of course, when that comes over, see how nice and neat the corners are. That's the secret, girls and boys. So today in Australia it's Remembrance Day, and it was when on the 11th hour signed the papers to end the war, 11th of the 11th. So I taught watercolour this morning, and I completely changed what we were going to do, and we did poppies. I'll show you. I'll pop a photo in here. And so I've got some of my ladies have been doing a little watercolour for a little while, and some of them are newer. So I had two little tutorials for them to choose from, and one a bit simpler than the other. So they got to choose which one they wanted to do, and they did a lovely job. And of course, I had the radio going so that at 11 o'clock it plays the last post and does a minute's silence. And quite a few of the one older lady got so upset she had to leave. So she wouldn't say anything, but obviously one of her relatives died in one of the wars. just makes you really think about what's going on in the world. You know, we've still got people that are hurting from previous wars, and we've got things going on, you know, like Ukraine and Iran and Palestine. It's just so senseless. All those people getting murdered, and it is murder. Yes. But they were all very pleased that that's what I'd chosen to do. So I'm glad I changed my lesson plan at the last minute, because when I'd done my lesson plan I hadn't even thought that it was going to be Remembrance Day. Right, so obviously this will be my front cover and this will be my back cover. Now I need to, what should I use? There's a lot of, we might use music, I think. Let's grab it. So I've got the dogs here. Teddy, say hello, Teddy. And Cooper is just on our bed. And Teddy is still very jealous of Cooper. As soon as Cooper wants a pat or hop on your knee, like Teddy's like, he's there and he's like, no, my human, that's my human. Right, I'm going to cut this close to the music. And now, how tall does it need to be? Right. The music that I used inside the other one was actually one of the pages from the kit. So it was A4, oh no, it's too hard, so it's A5, which is why it hasn't really fitted as well as this will fit. And I think that can be about there. Right, then I'll use that to cut this one down. So I hope everyone is having a good time. Hope you're getting to craft, unlike me. I might mark that with a pencil, I think that might be better. And I haven't even thought about Christmas yet. My daughter said to me this morning, what's our Christmas theme this year? And I'm thinking, I have no idea. Haven't even thought about it. And as she rightly pointed out, usually by July we've worked out our theme and colour scheme, etc. But yeah, I guess Mum has really thrown a spanner in the works with all of that stuff. I think she's going okay. She actually pushed a resident over the other day. So I thought, oh my gosh. So I was mortified. But they said not to worry. Happens all the time with dementia patients. So, but still, you can't help but feel really bad. Luckily, the other lady didn't get hurt. I mean, I found out who it was because she told me, but the home didn't say because they don't, you know, confidentiality and all that. So, but yeah, not good. Oh, some meat. Oh, I probably should have. That's okay. That's going to be, we'll do it that way. I think this music is from the musical Calamity Jane. I did that as a musical in the pit. Good musical, good music. So I know in some parts of the world it's starting to get cooler. Here in Australia, it's starting to get warmer, and I think we're going to have a very hot summer because it's only the beginning of November and it's 30 degrees today. So, with a real hot wind. And so, yucko. And then when the northerly winds come, it's always hot. Okay, so there's our front and back cover. Looking good. And then these will go in here. Like so. And I'll do the bind. Now I'm going to do a slightly different binding. I have got, if you haven't got this book, go to your library and get it. Let me bring it up. It's by Erica Ekram. It's called Bound, and it's got the most, let me just have a flick through. Look, old cigar boxes made into books. Just different, you know, just made different things. Exposed spines. Isn't that one cute? Using felted wool. Look at this one, shells. Using the shell to make the covers of your book, or a leaf. I don't know how long that would last because of course the leaf's going to dry out. It's pretty cute though. Some old wood, and it just goes on. This is slate. It's just, and the instructions she has are just amazing. Pressed flowers using old leather. I made, where is it? What did I do? It's like Japanese stab binding there. Oh, that's like a flower press. Photo. Oh, I did this one. I used an old belt and some old covers and did that, but I used watercolor paper. Awesome. So anywho, I'm doing, where's the picture? I'm going to do, so this is kettle stitch or true kettle stitch, running stitch, Coptic stitch. So there's 3 different stitches, and I might gather the running stitch again. I'm not sure. I'll see how I feel when the time comes. You know what they say. Okie dokie. So we need to do some punching. Get my cradle out. Get my where did I leave it? Here it is. This is how this is getting quite well worn here. All the plastic is coming off the handle. That's the Sizzix, the die pick tool. I actually prefer these or a sewing awl as opposed, because see the size of the, you've got, I mean the point part is the same, but then this one comes right down and it can just make your holes way too big. So I like these, or I get the tailor's awl, and because it's the same, use that. Right, now I've worked out my measures. Obviously I'll go that way. So I use a centering ruler. This is old as, this company doesn't even exist anymore. It's a nice bendy ruler. And what I did was, so I folded, so there's my spine. Sit flat so you can see. And so by finding the center, so I see I've got 4 1/8, 4 1/8, and there's the center. By finding the center, I can then measure out, instead of trying to, especially because I don't do inches and sometimes centimeters, you know, too many to count, 2.7 or something. So this way I can go, okay, 3/4 of an inch. Well, I just go 3/4. And then I didn't measure here. I just came from here 1 inch in. So that's 4 1/4. So 1 inch in, 3 1/4, and then 3/4. And the same, 1 inch in, 3/4. And that was what was left. But it just makes it so much easier than trying to say, oh, okay, I need to come down 1 inch from there, and then I need this much, and you know, and oh no, I get to the other end and I haven't left it properly. So if I start from the center and work my way out, easy peasy. But you can still get centering rulers, you just can't get it from that company. Whoop, oh, terribly sorry. Did I wake you all up now? Right. So I like to punch my signatures and pop them over there. That way they stay in the same order, because I've already decided what order they're going to be in. I'm going to speed this up because you don't need to see me, but this punching cradle is awesome. My husband makes these, so it's got a 45-degree angle and a little channel in here. Am I in camera there? No, there we go. So there's a little channel, so even if I wanted to, I can't go down too far. There's a stopper at this end, so you can pop it up there. You can get fold-up ones or whatever, but he's a carpenter, so I just drew a picture and said, make me these. And I tend to sell quite a few in my bookbinding classes. So I've got 7 holes. Okay, so I'll see you at the other end. Okay, I also need to punch holes in the cover, but I don't need my punching cradle for that. But when I do my covers, I like to just make sure they're together. Now, I have got a Japanese screw punch with, I've got a finer one than that. That's the finest one, which is probably about 2 mils. Yeah, and I think that's a little bit too thick for there, because it really only needs, the needle needs to just go through it. Good work, I guess. Might be a little bit neater. Okay, let's try it. First of all, grab my pencil. And I line this up. So I only need, so it needs to be about 3 mil in, which is, what's that? 3 mils is about 1/8 of an inch, maybe. Yeah, about 1/8 of an inch in. And I'm just centering it top and bottom. And I need the top hole, the bottom hole, and the center hole. So I only need those 3. Oh, can't see that one. Yes, I can. There it is. 1, 2, and there it is. 3. Might do that one first because I can't see it. I'll just get out my messy mat. Now, if I use this, I'll only be doing one at a time. If you haven't used one before, you just pop it on and just up and down. A bit more. I don't want to go overboard. There we go. And I'm just going to come from the back, although that probably will come out if I poke it. Oh yes, it will. There we go. I don't even have to worry. It's done. Okay, so you get a nice neat little hole. You could also use, if you've got a tiny hole punch, you could do the same thing. And last hole. Here we go. And if I put this on there, then I can, oh, actually, I'll do it that way. I like to punch it from the outside because it's, well, the screw punch is really neat. But if I was punching it, just like poking a hole, it would need to be from the back. Done. Nice and neat. Okay. Right, so unless you're making another book exactly the same, that's the end of that one. We don't need that anymore. So I can just put it in my recycling. Now there are different, and I'm just making sure that's there, all lined up nicely. Yes, they are. Awesome. Different schools of thought as to whether you start from the bottom or the top. I was always taught to start from the last signature. There we go, you can see. Can you see my holes? All they're all lined up all nicely. So that's the advantage of having the template, the punching cradle, and your template. It just I find it much better than I used to use an old book, and I'd just go into the centre, but I never quite got it completely right. So, excuse me, need to have a drink. So warm. Need to remember to keep up with the hydration. Now, it's a shame I don't have blue thread, but I guess we can use brown because it's the centre. It's either brown or, nope, white. All right. Now, it says for this particular binding, it says to do 13 times the height of your signatures. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I did this yesterday. I had a fair bit left over, but it's better to have left over than to have not enough. Don't you agree? Especially because this is the type of binding where you can't, you can't tie it off and add extra. And when you do little books, you can always use those little pieces, or like pamphlet stitch when you can do each one individually. Okay, so now I'm just going to throw that on the floor and use my beeswax. I like to do this sort of 3 or 4 times. So if you've got a block of beeswax like this and it starts to get a bit too yucky, then just you know, melt it down into something. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter about the shape. Just make a mold out of something that you'd recycle, and just melt your beeswax back down. There we go. I like apart from the smell, the beeswax better than, this is supposed to be beeswax. It has no smell. It's the sewing one that comes in the little round container. I think it's got paraffin and stuff in it, whereas that other block is just all natural wax. Now I've lost the end. Oh, there we go, end. I like to use a curved needle. I just find it easier when I'm sewing, especially doing the Coptic and the true kettle stitch. It's just, now that's the top, that's the back, and I'm going to start from the back. So make sure I put these up the right way. Better do that, hey? Yep, I have. Okay, so we need to find center. So this first hole, that will be my kettle stitch. Okay, and I'm going to leave about, oops, pull both threads through, Mandy. What's that? About 8 inches. I'm going to leave that because I will need that to put my, I'll just put that there for the moment, so I just don't pull it through. I will need that to put the cover on at the end. Okay, so now, so kettle stitch, and then, oops, running stitch. What have we done? Sorry. There we go. Running stitch, so that'll just go in. I can't even see my things. That's because I've opened it up. The next one is the Coptic, which means we're going to come in and out of the same hole. So we come out, the bees, you have to just persevere, because the beeswax does, especially because this is linen thread, it does tend to, it's really good because it sticks to itself and everything, but it also can be a bit of a pain when you're sewing. Okay, so we come out, And this is where we're going to be adding, make sure I've got that the right way, yes, the cover. I'm still looking at the instructions just to make sure that I've got the right thing happening. It's nothing worse. Yes, so I'll go around this twice. Going to, because I don't want that to move, right? So we will just now put some clips on. We want it to stay nice and tight. We're going to go back. I'm going to go back into that hole that I came out of. Okay. Do have the advantage because this is not tied off, so we can come and, you know, at the end I can tighten that before I tie it to the cover. But then we come out, this is the running stitch, so in, and then out, and this will be the kettle stitch. But here I need to do the same thing, and that's to go from the inside to the outside of the cover. Sorry, I just bumped you. That's the problem when you've got a massive piece of thread. And where's my needle? There it is. And from the inside to the outside again. Oh, oh I'm getting it caught everywhere. So once you've got everything set up, what have I done? There we go. So like I said, this one I can tighten from here. I'll keep that in that. There. Now, I can add my next signature. I need to make sure that that's, have I gone twice? One, no, I've only done it once. Okay, I must have pulled it out. Let's do it again. And before I go into that hole, I need to go under this, where the stitch comes from the signature to the cover. Okay. This is the end is getting all sticky uppy. My husband, he's going deaf, and so he puts the telly on so high. I've got the door shut, but I can still hear it as if I'm just sitting in front of the TV. Come on, how'd you come? I've got it truly well and twisted here. There we go. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so I've gone through there. Now I can come into that first hole. So remember, we've got kettle, running, Coptic, running, kettle. So now that the cover's on the back and that first lot is done, it's easy sailing now. I'm still deciding whether I will gather the running stitch, but that's done at the end anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I've got 9 signatures and they've only got 4 pages each. Okay, a Coptic stitch in the center. The Coptic stitch in the center also helps keep it tight. So you want to make sure that you have got your stitches tight before you do your Coptic stitch, because that's kind of your knot. So we go under the stitch there. And back into the same hole. When you first start, it's hard, or the length of string, but it goes down fairly quickly. Now running, so in and out, nice and easy. In and out, and then this will be our kettle stitch on the end. So that will go. Now this, I'm actually going to put my end over there, because otherwise I can't do my kettle stitch for that one. Okay. Next. Okay, they're now all the same, all the way up and back. I'm going to come back when I've finished the last signature. Okay, so I'll see you then. Okay, so we're on the last signature, number 9. I've just had to rethread my needle. Whoops. Oh, and it fell out again. I've no idea where my glasses are. Well, I know where my distance ones are. They're right here, but they're no good for this. Okay. So I've got my 9th one on there ready to go. 9th signature. And I've done the kettle stitch here. So I'm going to have to go through the cover twice. Do I do the end? No, I don't. So I need to go down here, and then I've got to put the cover on and do that cover, attach the cover. Oh, that's beautiful arrangement. What's that? Almond peach hybrid. So I need to come out at the middle now. I need to, normally I do this, tighten this up when I come back through after doing the Coptic stitch, but I'm going to do my Coptic stitch. So through that one before. Then we need to bring the cover, and from the back to the front, need to go around twice and then go back through that middle hole of my signature. Now, I don't want that to move all over the place, so I'll just clip that one there. Got that nice and tight. Oops, I've just made it loose. Let's go out and we'll tighten it up. So, to pull that nice and tight there, then I can pull, there we go, in. Oh, Mandy, pulled it out. Out the top one. Hard to find the hole because this book has just put the I can't see it because I haven't got my glasses. There it is. Okay. Ta-da! Made it. Okay. Now I need to make sure this is tight. This is tight and tight. we can go from the inside to the outside. Then we go into one of these, and I'm just going to go into that second last one. There we go, in there, nice and tight. And then, oh, so we certainly didn't need 13 times the height. So you can see how much I've got left over. And then we trim that scissors up just a little bit. So how much have I got left? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 10 times the height would have been more than enough for future ref. Right, now the reason you leave a nice big tail at the beginning is so that you can then put these two, so from the back to the front, 2 loops, oops. So last week, oops, in the my watercolour workshops, instead of painting, I taught them all to make their own little watercolour mini book, and everyone just loved it. So a few people missed out, so I'm going to do a video and show what I did. Okay, so now let's go down here. I'm going to go in between each one and take this thread down to the other cover, and this is, oh, Mandy, keep taking it out. This is called hiking, when you go from one side to the other. And even though my signatures are small and close together, it's still best to go down between each signature. And you can see why the curved needle is so much easier to use than a straight one. Last one. There we go. And now, make sure I've got a bit, oh, I pulled it out. So from the inside to the front, and again, so we end up with 2 loops on there. Oop. Don't come undone. And then we just go back. So this one I can actually go through the first signature. There it is. And just catch that under there. Okay, there we go, look at that, how cute. I decided to leave it. Keep my needles in there because otherwise I just lose them. Now there's quite a lot there, so if I'm doing where is it? Pamphlet stitch, I can reuse that bit, but the other little piece I just let go into the recycling. Being linen, it can go in the recycling. Yes, so I did these little books. They turned out they were like 6 centimeters by 5 centimeters, which I've got them right here. How cute are they? I've got really nice watercolor paper in, and so that in inches is just a tad over 2 inches by. No, let's get a ruler. It'll make it easier. Right, inches. So it's nearly 2.5 by 2 1/8. And we'd been looking on Pinterest, and you can see people have got these little tiny watercolor books, and so we used lace over the spine, and this was the backs of the watercolor paper. I keep it, and I just cut it up to use, and we all used fabric. I went through my scraps. Everyone was quite happy because they go, oh my gosh, you've got so many scraps, there's something for everyone. I thought, well, that was the idea. Went through all of them. So I'll do a little video because I know some ladies missed out, so they probably still would want to make one, and maybe some other people would like to as well. Right, oops. Okay, so here, let's have a look. The beauty of like Coptic and Kettle is that your book, doesn't matter where you open it, it lays flat. Look at that, nice and flat, all the way to the back cover. And it's still quite sturdy. So that will have to relax into itself. And let's have a look. I've got all of these beautiful ephemera, but like I said, these could be used as pages, but there's lots of ephemera there to go with this. So it'd be a lovely journal. Now we need a closure because this one's got a closure, hasn't it? So what are we going to use? Let me think. I didn't order any blue. I did order white. No, not white. It's a bit too stark, isn't it? Maybe we'll just go with the old, this one that I've, yes, like the sand colour. This is one of those old reels. Found it in an antique shop in Tasmania. And I think we might have to put a little bit of a dangle on the ends, don't you? There we go. Right, so sunny days. Sunny days and summer garden. So both here in Australia, perfect. It's nearly summer. No, other way around. And getting into the warmer weather. So these will be in my coffee shop shortly. I am actually in the process of beginning an Etsy shop because I think that'll be much easier. And there we go. So they are my 2 design kits for Tania at Tatty Treasure. Way behind schedule, but I got there in the end, and that's all that matters. So we have 2 plain Amanda Jane journals, absolutely no decoration in them whatsoever except for the beautiful pages, and then you get all of the pages of ephemera so that you can decorate them as you like. Thank you so much for joining. Sorry, my phone died and you didn't get to hear me say thank you for joining me. Please like my video, subscribe to my channel, and come back soon because I'll have more crafty goodness for you. You have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Toodles!